Hi, my name is Stacy Niles. I live in a basement. I like to write, and I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I decided to start doing a podcast because I hate looking at the plain text of my poetry and my writing. And I hate knowing that someone's going to hear it and it won't be from my mouth. I hate thinking that their brain might not read it the same way that I would, and I don't always know how to show that in my writing because I'm very new at this. I've been writing my entire life, but I still feel like I just wrote my first sentence yesterday. I'm not trying to say I came out of the womb writing or anything like that, but I have always been the kind of person to write a lot, all the time, on everything. Just like I talk all the time about everything at anyone. But I think it's finally time to share some of the things that I've written and share them in a form that I will actually go back and listen to and share with people without being super nervous that it's not good. So without further ado, I present my first poem. Fraud by Stacy Niles. I'm an author, so the way that I speak matters to me, as if each day, each word I create is a constant application process, to hopefully, maybe, someday not feel like a fraud anymore. To not feel like I'm on review and suddenly everyone around me realizes I have no idea what I'm doing. Because I don't. I don't have any idea what I'm doing. I'm a fraud. Every time I put words on paper, I do it with the focus that someone is going to read it, so it better be done well, or else I'm a fraud. Because good is a lot of things. I'd rather be told I'm bad than just a simple good. Good is like saying you didn't even get a chance to read the words that I etched into my own skin, stretched and dried, and maybe that's an exaggeration, but these letters are the binary of my thought matrix. Matrix is too organized, though. My thoughts are more like a pit of snakes. The way they move and intertwine, it seems dark and foreboding, but the pit isn't really there. Because I am a fraud. And the letters that built that pit also built the steps that helped me climb out of the dark, bring the snakes back to Ireland. I want them to feel their bellies cling on the wet earth. These letters, they take me back to the places that I've been. They are my everything. They are my unraveling thread of sanity. They are the only proof that I am not a fraud. This one is called Luke 18:16 by Stacy Niles. Sometimes I close my eyes and I can see this house. It's a house that grows bigger with time. The house has some rooms where the doors have been shut and the lights are off, and there are some rooms where the doors hang wide open with this full, bright light emanating from the gaping doorway. And I can tell it's slowly fading away. And why, no matter how hard I try, can I not get the metaphor right? How do you eloquently speak of the unspeakable? My best friend's brother took his own life. We grew up together, our homes as close as blood, and I've always imagined him as an adult, with a quick-witted wife and 2 curly-haired babies. He's one of the most intelligent humans that I have had the pleasure of knowing. And one cold November night, he was gone too quick, an open door into a bright future left hanging wide open. I wished with all of the creativity that I could muster that it was a hoax, that he had faked his death to throw off some unknown evil, that somewhere in that house I would find a clue. You see, he taught me that being intelligent and being imaginative go hand in hand, that a mind that creates problems just to solve them is a mind to be reckoned with. Sadly, in this reality, there were no such clues. The universe leaves no answers sometimes, but in return we have faith. We hold our families tight and we bunker down through the winter storms. Life goes on, but there are too many empty seats in schoolrooms with salacious and morbid rumors hovering in the air. There are too many pictures on bulletin boards at suicide rallies, fathers that will never hug their children again, and the kids, those real tiny humans with big dreams never to be reached? When are we going to stop killing ourselves and start making the world a brighter, kinder, better place to live? When it's 4 a.m. and you feel your light fading, hold on tight. Every day is a chance to improve your life, to mold who you are into who you want to be. Put down the razor blade. Those thin lines will heal, but you'll never forget that they were there. If you feel there is darkness inside of you, know there is also a light. And you are never alone. You will always have yourself. And I know it is not easy. But if you learn to love yourself, to make yourself into someone that you can love, life becomes just a little lighter. You're no longer carrying around the weight of your self-loathing on your back packed full with dysmorphia and self-doubt. Don't let the lights go out. With hanging doors wide open, adventure and love and success, all of the things that you dream about at night, they are out there. You just have to keep going. Your story is not over. Your life has only just begun. Luke 18:16. But Jesus called them to him, saying, "Let the children come to me, and do not hinder them, for such belongs the kingdom of God." Thank you. The unique thing about Luke 18:16 is that I picked that Bible verse. I'm not a very biblical person and I don't know much about the Bible, but I picked that Bible verse because it spoke to me, and I shared it with my friend, and she said, "Did you do that on purpose?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, he died on November 18th, 2016. It was one of those times in your life where coincidence is just not enough to explain how everything lines up. I kind of was scared that it wouldn't fit right. It wouldn't fit with who I am. And then I thought to myself, it's not about me. It's about someone who's died. And he was a religious person, and his family is a religious family. And to honor and respect them, I left the Bible verse in. I left the name, and I'm glad I did. Nature is Knowledge by Stacey Niles. Do you ask the sun to cower when the moon peeks out midday? Do you ask the clouds to sink to the reaching mountain? Futile is the man who attempts to darken the stars simply because they shine brighter. Unworthy are the eyes that only see flaws in a sunrise. The dawn does not break for you, nor does the moon wane. You are but a spectator in the undying performance of life. Open your eyes wide, close your mouth, and learn from the universe what mankind cannot teach. When I wrote Nature is Knowledge, I was in the process of failing out of the University of Iowa. I was in a nighttime creative writing class, and the TA that taught the class seemed like he had a lot better things to do with his time. He was very creative and very intelligent, but he didn't really inspire me. And every time I had to present my work in that class, I just felt this judgmental stare that I was not as refined as he thought I should be. And he told me that that poem was too preachy, that it was telling people how to feel. And I had thought, well, that's the point. It's supposed to be saying, hey, pay attention to what's around you. But the whole interaction led me to realize something about my poetry and about who I am. And that is that I want my poetry to teach people things. I want them to be life lessons. And I think that most of them are. Sometimes they're not, but most of them are. The poems are my lessons and I am a teacher. I don't want to say I'm the world's teacher and nothing like that, but I'm just a traveling vagabond teacher, I guess. If that is so, then this is my first lesson. I hope that you enjoyed my poetry that I've shared today. I have a lot more where that came from, and like I said in the beginning, I don't really know what I'm doing here, so I hope that I can find my place and find my voice. I think today's samples had kind of a serious undertone to them, so I'm going to end this lesson with a bit of a sunshine spot. I want you to close your eyes and just imagine the sun is shining down on your face and you don't have a care in the world. That it is in the place where the sun shines and the waves open their hungry mouths again and again. And maybe it was the salt on my lips or in my hair, or the green of the wraps that you packed for us to eat, or the blue of the sky and the water. But something in this everlasting moment called to me, begged me to stay. For how could one leave without the promise of a more perfect day? And I don't need to take a photo to remember how alive I felt. And I'll carry it with me even after the freckles on my skin fade, just as I carry home on my leg and hope on my chest. I will carry this day like a warm hand on the small of my back, pushing me forward, telling me, go this way, follow the sun. Written May 1st, 2017, Sunset Beach, North Carolina. Thank you for listening.